someone just came up at the side event and talking to him 5 minutes, and he said, "Oh, if you're looking for investment, here I share this Google sheet with you with 11,000 investor contacts." I said, "What?" And he just dropped it to me on the phone, and I was like, "Okay, wow, thank you." I'm Bernhard Tevis, creator, co-founder and CEO of HypnoBox, the world's most popular and comprehensive self-hypnosis app. I'm a hypnotherapist, and I created this app together with Sebastian, who's our CTO, but you can, of course, tell more about yourself if you want.
Yeah, sure. I'm Sebastian Meckelmann, also living in Berlin, and as Bernhard already mentioned, I'm the CTO and co-founder of HypnoBox, and I'm now running this startup together with him for 4 years. We talked with a couple of founders last year, so we found out that there's a great program which probably would fit for us, US market access. So we applied, and it worked really well for us, right?
Actually, it worked very well. Well, actually, we applied first for the health tech program in the first place, and then because we don't have a tech hardware which needs to be certified by the FDA, so the idea was, hey, we have a mental health company and the program where we could just put you in, and that's much easier because you are already on the market, and that's why we switched to that program, and that was a good idea.
And I think we applied in September or something like that, and in January we were already in Palo Alto, and having great time with the other founders and with the mentors.
Yeah, and I think the networking was a very important part for us. You know, through the mentors, I must say, they brought great contacts. The mentor we had, we were very, very, very happy with our mentor, we must say, and she brought us through a lot of good contacts, good new ideas. So that was very valuable for us.
Definitely. Okay, so Bernhard, do you remember last year what our expectations were?
I remember very, very well, because my main expectation was, hey, how we do good marketing as a Berlin company for the US market, right? Because we were like, okay, we actually having already half of our revenue in the US, and we're actually like dealing with everything from Berlin, maybe with our Berlin mindset, with our German Berlin mindset. We're quite open, but still German, you know? So my expectation was, okay, how do we do marketing for the US market, actually? That was my biggest expectation. So we got that answered during the program very well, that we need to be much more emotional, for example. Yeah, that was the biggest learning. Yeah, that here in Germany we go more fact-driven, and in the US it's much more emotional-driven. And that was really a good learning, how to do that. But also we arrived at the program, and there was already the other cohort there, like finishing their program, and they were like learning and really into their pitches, and they were super focused on, hey, I'm pitching that night at the SAP venue and so on. And I was like, there's this pitch, I forgot about that. So my pitch, or our pitch, was then in the second part of the program in New York. So one part was in Silicon Valley, the other part was then, I don't know, half a year later, almost.
Late April, I think.
Late April. Late April in New York, and that was our goal to pitch there, actually, in front of investors, but also deciders. And one important part of our mentorship and the program was to develop, hey, what you actually want to pitch. Yeah? So we needed to focus on something. Hey, you guys, you have this one pitch. What do you want to go for? Are you looking for investors, or are you want to look for B2B partners? And we decided, actually, hey, no, right now much more important is the B2B market entrance, right?
Yeah, I just wanted to add because I also remembered we had this great goal that we wanted to enter the B2B market actually, and in the United States first, because half of our revenue we already generated there. And there came all these questions regarding, do we need a local subsidiary, do we need a local office, do we need funding for that, and how do we accomplish this? What is the best approach? And then we learned about the Wegzugsteuer, which was quite interesting for us. So we had to quickly shift our strategy, and that was actually one expectation, that we get guidance here and specific guidance, and it turned out to work really well for us.
Exactly. So we also decided not to do a Delaware flip. So that was also part of that process, not to have a US entity for the moment, because it would cost too much taxes. Actually, so very important process for us, and to understand why and to make clear decisions about that. So we had talked to different lawyers, talked to different companies also, and make a decision about that as well. The network we got through the German accelerator was really nice people, say. The ones who did the talks at the German accelerator programs were very interesting. But for example, we got the idea to actually create an advisory board, which was never in my head, to have like an advisory board, which are not people who just are on the cap table, which are like people who are just outside the cap table, and they might get some shares, but just people from different businesses and perspectives, which can give you really advice from their perspective, from their experience. And that idea I found quite valuable. So we have like a list of people that we want to have on our advisory board. We're still working on that. But that was really smart. The contacts we got through our mentors were really valuable from German Accelerator, and the personal connections to the other founders in that program. And they became friends, and we're still in contact with them. That's something very nice.
Yeah, that was really great, because if I remember personally what I expected in September or in October, I hoped that we got into contacts and can talk with other founders and share insights and really connect and try to learn. And that turned out really well. It was a great time there. What do you think when it comes to valuable business connections and to valuable partnerships that came out from the German Accelerator for us? What do you think are the most valuable for us?
Well, we met quite really nice people, especially after the pitch, who came forward to us and said, "Hey, this was the most American pitch I've seen in a long time here." That
I
was
remember
quite,
in Manhattan, right?
In Manhattan, yeah. Well, because I made it quite emotional, and I mean, I got really good mentoring on the pitch, and which is a big part of the program actually. Yeah, pitching, coaching, and I like that a lot. So people love that pitch about HypnoBox and how to enter. We are now ready to enter the B2B market, and someone from Bamboo HR came over, contacted us. Alexander Fleischer from Capgemini actually is in contact with us, and we're thinking about like building a HypnoBox booth in the office, so people can directly go into hypnosis in their breaks, and also their partners and customers, or clients, however they call it. And but we got a lot of attention. And our first B2B client was actually then Urban Sports Club, which took us into the app catalog for their corporate program. And we're super happy to be in that program, and it opened a lot of doors also for us. So if one door is opening, other doors are opening, but because...
Yeah. I mean, you also just got some energy and some momentum, and there's also some credibility effect that you got from the participation onto the German Accelerator, and that turned out well for us.
Yeah, yeah. Because it was also important to understand how this B2B market works best for us at the moment. And this is same for the US. It's less like we go to every company and call them, hey, do you want to have the app for your employees? It's more like, no, we're in a benefit program, and in this benefit program, our employees can choose what they want to have for their health, mental health, whatever. And that's what our strategy is right now. So to get into this multiplicators for the benefits. Yeah? So that was one learning as well.
Bernhard, when you recap this year, what happened and what we experienced, what do you think were our biggest challenges regarding the accelerator and our entering the B2B market?
Yeah. So our biggest challenge anyway with HypnoBox is to get acceptance, of the message. Hey, hypnosis is the greatest tool for change work at the moment. Yeah, but we found out that in the US that's actually already happening, and that this mindset, hey, I'm doing something for my mental health, is really there. When it comes to business and especially, okay, how we enter the U.S. market and how we might build a team up there, an entity up there, we found out that having an entity there would be amazing. Having someone in the U.S. would be amazing, but we also have the challenges. Hey, things are changing very fast, and suddenly a visa for an employee, if he's from Europe, costs a fortune, and we couldn't just afford that. Yeah, that's also a reality that we just couldn't do that. So also one decision was, okay, we continue working from Berlin to do that, but being more in the US team-wise. But also it's a question, how can we finance that? And that's also reality, and we'd love to have a team there. And but also the advice was, hey, if you have a team, you need someone in the US who's guiding that. Yeah.
Especially when I remember what our challenge was, is that when we were planning this B2B and entering the B2B market, our mentors that are working with us quickly understood, okay, we are a bootstrap startup, so we have specific requirements and specific constraints. And they worked for us and they worked with us to solve this, because they also made clear that this is a challenge for us, that when we want to have a successful B2B business there, we need some type of foot on the ground. Yeah. And with all of the changes, also the political change, but also the changes in visa and so on and so on and so on, it was tough for us to find a solution that works regarding our specific needs. So this was a great help also from the German accelerator, that we got quickly good mentors that understood our needs and helped us with solving this challenge.
Yeah. I think we were even concerned how it is to enter the US. There was the first reports. Yeah, people got sent back from the US because and we heard stories that someone said, instead of, hey, I'm here for business, I'm here for work. And then in German it's like work is work, and we don't make a difference between business and work. So in the US it's a difference if you say you're here for work and not for business, because these are different visas. But for us in the end it was not any problem to enter the US first. So it was made very big also in the press, and there were always people sent back, probably because they didn't have a good answer to certain questions. So but if you're prepared for that, it's not the problem. Anyway, it's for making business. It's to be honest, not a great climate, for German companies or abroad companies. I want to be honest about that, but it's also not impossible, and it's still the biggest market for us, the biggest market actually in the world, with a lot of financial power. So even if it is uncertain, we still continue our work there, even it is right now uncertain, because it's just, and we know right now our product is very much needed for mental health right now. Yeah, so we don't leave you alone there.
Definitely. But if I remember, when we arrived in Palo Alto, we also participated in a lot of side events, and it was actually it's a bit weird to say, but it was also a really curious and great time, because we could talk with the people that lives there about the political change, and also DeepSeek was just released, so we had great talks regarding what are the effects, regarding ChatGPT and all of this. The time there was actually very exciting.
Very exciting.
Yeah.
And we said if we would ever found again a company, we would probably do that.
I remember.
We would probably do that in the valley and not here, because the mindset and the ecosystem, the whole ecosystem there is so much different to here. Yeah, I mean, we love Berlin and we know the great live here, but the mindset and the possibilities of growth are definitely different. And that experience, just to make that experience here in that different perspective, was super nice.
I also remember this great different feeling when it comes to help on the founder level, that you can participate, because on the side events all of the people were just helping each other. So it was always a warm feeling, and you shared insights, you shared ideas, you shared strategies how to approach, how to get in contact with a VC or with a founder, or where are office spaces that are affordable. Yeah, so a lot of different aspects that would have been more complicated to find actually was a bit easier with the help of the German Accelerator, and also with this great organization of side events.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Someone just came up at the side event and talking to him 5 minutes, and he said, "Oh, if you're looking for investment, here I share this this Google sheet with you with 11,000 investor contacts." I said, "What?" And he just dropped it to me on the phone. And I was like, "Okay, wow, thank you." Yeah. Don't know if this would happen in Germany, but also great experience. Yeah.
When you look back and you could advise us 2 years ago, when it comes regarding, does it make sense to go to US, what is the best strategies, what would you advise us, or a different founder that approaches us?
Yeah, it's really worth just to find out. You know, I mean, of course, you need to have some resources to do that and the time to do that, but in the end, it was so valuable, because if you focus with your mentor and in the program on what you're looking for, and if you don't know that yet, then this is the process to find that out. Is it funding? Is it B2B? Is it contacts? Is how I'm building up there like a production center or an entity or something like that? You can find that out in that program. We were very much interested in how we do marketing also, how we get contacts and good contacts, and how we multiply that. So we got answered to all that questions, and in the end it was very valuable, not just for the contacts, but also for us in the mindset and growing and seeing things outside of the box, you know. And if you're unsure if the US market is something for you, then maybe exactly then this program is for you, because you get answered all that question. And I mean, I'm a hypnotherapist. I don't want to decide out of a perspective of fear or anxiety. I want to decide from a perspective of possibilities, and then decide, hey, is that something or not? And if you don't get an insight into that, you will not have the chance to decide freely.
Yeah, totally. I mean, right? Just try it out and make your own experiences, but also I think I would advise us to put in a lot of energy, a lot of effort, speed also. So the willingness to adopt shortly and quickly makes totally sense. And I mean, when a bootstrapped founder actually would come to us, and we had talks yesterday here on the 48 Forward Festival, I always also advise them, hey, try to maintain a low-cost structure and a flexible structure. So avoid fixed costs, because the employment costs in the US are so high. Really make your decisions, really reflect your decisions and make sure they're worth it. And yeah, this is also something I think I would advise. What do you think is our biggest learning from the participation in the German accelerator in the US?
Yeah, of course, how to approach the market. And that's why we said, hey, there are more markets that we can approach in that way. That's why we have participated the German Accelerator Discovery Program for Southeast Asia, where we found out actually that not the market that we expected first, that was like South Korea or Japan. These are not the markets that where we localize the next HypnoBox, but it's became India, because the Indians are very open. They're very much in mobile devices, but also open for topics like meditation, self-hypnosis, spirituality. And yeah, that's the next program that we want to join, is the Indian Accelerator program, and we're very, very eager to join that one.
Yeah, but yeah, I just need to add, this is also, I think, one of the biggest learning that we had, that the German Accelerator is a great tool if you want a fast lane into a market, or a fast lane into guidance. Because when we are still Berlin based, so when it comes to how to enter the India market, we just saw a lot of question marks again. Okay, what's the best approach? What is the best country in Southeast Asia? I mean, we knew there's a market for us, but we did not know what is the best market for us. What is reasonable for us? We are still bootstrapped, so we need to be cost effective, and every decision could not be our last decision, but every decision counts. So we need to be very, very clear what's the best way, and we have to find it out before we do this decision. So this is actually, I think, one of our biggest learnings for us. I think we talked about this a couple of days ago, that the German Accelerator for us is like this tiny little things in Mario Kart, where you just be a bit quicker. So we really accelerated, and we got the guidance we need.
Definitely, and that was really helpful, and we're grateful for that opportunity, and it's also a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.